Welcome to the StockMatter.com studios here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your stock mentor, Brian Johnson. I'm making professional trading simple. We had basically a consolidation day today. As I mentioned yesterday, that would certainly didn't surprise me to see us kind of move sideways. We had a pretty sizable move yesterday, and it's not uncommon to kind of go sideways for a day, maybe even two, afterwards as the markets make up their mind. We're also at a very pivotal place in the market, so not uncommon to see it stall for a while to kind of make up its mind as well. So, not a big surprise from a trading standpoint today. It sure does make for an awful boring day, though. So, in the meantime, what do? Well, I love to talk to people, love to discuss things with people, send out emails. Some people call me. I really don't have any problems with that. I'm probably very unique. Very few people I know on the web kind of allow phone calls to them. I really don't mind it for the most part. I love talking to people. I love discussing things with people. And I want to say hello to all the Slope of Hope people that have been visiting. It's great to have you here. Slopeofhope.com is a website that I've started kind of being a guest contributor to. Tim Knight is the gentleman that runs that. Just a super great guy and a really nice, and I've never met him personally, but I've followed him for a long time. And those of you that follow me or have been following me, and especially my subscribers, know I'm not a big news guy. I don't like to look at the news. I really don't care what's going on in the world. I don't watch CNBC during the day. Most of the reason, and my subscribers know this, because I don't want to be influenced. I don't want to be influenced by anybody else. I feel I have all the tools I need to be successful in the markets with the knowledge I have, and I don't want to be influenced by the news or somebody on the news saying, well, I think oil's going to go up, only to have the next guy go, no, oil's going to go down. I don't want to be influenced by that. I know what I see in the charts. I'm going to trade what I see in the charts, and I'm going to share that information with you guys. And so I don't like a lot of outside influences, and I don't frequent a lot of blogs for that reason. But there is one that I have followed since I started trading, and it is Slope of Hope with Tim Knight. Good stuff. Great guy. Just a lot of fun to follow. Those people over there are really actually very nice, very cordial. So I enjoy hanging out there. One of the very few places I do like to hang out. So I say welcome to everybody from the Slope of Hope if you're over here. I hope that you'll continue to come back to my blog and visit it as well. I do lots of videos, so it's very easy to just sit there and kind of watch things. So without further ado, let's break into the markets. Here we have the Dow, and you can see we closed once again, right above the 20-day moving average. So I had I'm going to show you the 60-minute. I usually start with the 60-minute. And you can see we're just kind of chopping down sideways. We have not broken out of this channel. I am really looking for a break below this channel. That will make me certainly more bearish. If we can get down below this by a pretty sizable amount, down into this area now is what I'm looking at. Before it was here, when we were up here, it was kind of this area, but now since we have not broken out of this channel, I'm really looking for a break here. However, this is consolidating sideways. So is it a low base? Is it a high? Is it just consolidating for a push higher? We don't know yet. That has yet to be determined. The charts and the markets will tell me that. You'll find I try to stay very unbiased in the markets, and I think it's been a real help to my trading to do that. Just let the charts tell you where to go. So we'll wait and see what happens. I'm waiting to see if this thing breaks up and over this 10,000 area again. That'll be certainly a big bull area to get up and over, especially when we're coming into end of month, and that is at the end of this week. So if it's going to start its push, it might do that tomorrow morning, might do that tomorrow afternoon. Wednesdays are typically a very important day in the markets. I like to watch Wednesday afternoons for reversals. So if we've been heading down most of the week, I like to watch Wednesday afternoons for maybe a move back to the upside, and then maybe see where the rest of the week ends up after Wednesday afternoon is all over with. Let's jump to the Dow daily. Again, you can see we're above the 20-day moving average. That's where we closed yesterday, and that's where we closed today. There was a little bit of a push below it, not back to this lower channel line though, so we still have not tested this, but we did get another close above the 20-day moving average. So you can see that the bulls are doing their best to hold on to that area as best they can. If we move on to the NASDAQ, which got destroyed today. The Dow was up. This is crazy. The Dow was up 14 points, S&P down about 3.5, and the Nasdaq down about 26. I mean, the Nasdaq just got rocked today. Now, you know, if you follow me, that I'm a big believer in the Nasdaq is a leading indicator in the markets, and if that's the case, there's probably, or could be certainly, more bearishness in the markets. Now, I don't care what reported or Baidu did this or Baidu did that. That makes no difference to me. I don't worry about the news. I just look at what the charts are telling me, and that's the Nasdaq was way below everything else today. And if it is a leading indicator, then that could be a sign of bearishness in the other indices as we push forward. So you can see we broke down below this area here. This was heavy support, and more importantly, we closed below the 200 period moving average on the 60 minutes. So now the bulls have some work to get right back up there. Now notice this, it has already actually tested this lower trend line. It's kind of ahead of the rest of the markets. The S&P, when we get to it, you'll notice that, yeah, it's kind of tested it too, but not quite. I mean, there is a gap there. This one here has definitely retested the bottom side of this channel line already. So now, and I made this prediction before, it's my gut feeling, total speculation on my part, but now that this has touched this bottom channel line, I just don't know if it's going to have enough power now to get back up and retest the top of this trend line like it has been here. Top, bottom, top, bottom. We never made the top. We did make the bottom. That is certainly more bearish than it is bullish to see this here. Am I completely all in for the bears? No, absolutely not. I do not quite have enough information yet to get completely bearish, but this is certainly not bullish behavior. So touching this channel line, my gut tells me that we won't make it to test the top of this channel line again. So we will watch this over the next couple days and see if we can at least make a valiant attempt towards the end of the month to see what the monthly charts look like. NDX on a weekly looks pretty bearish right now, but only 2 days into it, so I'm not real worried about it. SPX on a 60-minute, you can see how we're hanging on to this lower trend line. See how it's doing its best? It is still stuck below the 200, which is where the Nasdaq is now, but it has not broke this lower channel line yet. So I would like to see a push down into the 1050 area to really get more bearish on the markets. SPX on a daily, you can see where it looks like we basically touched the lower channel line, but if I zoom in, we have not. There's still ever a small gap. Now, can I play around with the trend line and kind of make it touch? Yeah, you bet I can. I mean, these trend lines are drawn in crayon. You don't draw them with a fine point pencil. You do draw them, draw them with a crayon. So yeah, for all practical purposes, we could say it's mimicking the Nasdaq and has touched this lower channel line. In any case, man, a push back up here to the top of this channel line, I think is going to be a real challenge moving forward. So the bulls, if they're going to do it, kind of need to get started in the next couple days. I made this trend line here, now that it's become kind of valid again, I made it a nice thick white line so that we can see where we're at. And this is what we were at yesterday and testing most of today. Now this has closed below the 20-day moving average, so it is definitely showing a lot more weakness too than the Dow is. The Dow has been a much cleaner chart, so I've actually liked watching it over the last couple days. Here we are on the weekly. You can see we're back here to test this trend line. It's Tuesday. It's a weekly candle. Anything can happen. This weekly candle can be up here at 1200 by the end of the week. You just don't know. I don't expect it to get up there, so don't think I'm making any kind of a prediction there. But I'm just saying that I don't look at weekly candles until about Thursday or Friday, and that's going to give me a much better idea of where we're at. VIX on a daily, it had another nice push up today. All you options owners should have seen a little bit of help from that as well. But right back into overhead resistance, so there is a good chance that we might see this pull back a little bit, and that would of course mean some more upside to the markets. VIX on a weekly, you can see it coming right back up into the 20-week moving average. Once again, a weekly candle, who knows where that's going to end up by the end of the week. Apple on a 60-minute took it hard today. It really had a hard push down.